Hello, 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 and welcome to this quick little video about Microsoft or Bing ads or UET tag enhanced conversion tracking. All right, so I just figured this out for one of my clients. So as usual, I'm just going to make a quick little video, show a few key ideas, and hopefully it's useful for someone. And if you're interested in kind of learning more, if you want this set up for you, you can get in touch with me, and usually we are able to help you out. All right, so let's kind of go through this quickly. Not a fancy video, no edits, no cuts, no fancy, typographic elements, just me recording the screen and explaining how I understand this. Let's go. All right, so the Google Ads enhanced conversions is something that I have written a blog post about. So kind of the key idea is that usually Google Ads relies on cookies. So Google Ads stores this cookie with the Google Ads click ID. And this is done by the conversion linker tag. Like I have this example Google Tag Manager set up. So the Google Ads conversion linker turns the Google click ID into this cookie. So if you have example.com and you have Google click ID 123456, it's going to store this as a cookie. So even if the visitor comes back 1 month later and they convert, Google Ads is able to say which ad campaign, which ad set led to this conversion, and you can measure your conversions. But sometimes this doesn't work. So maybe they have some like ad blocking, cookie blocking, a weird browser like Brave, or maybe they just, change their device. So they click on the ad on their phone, but then they switch to their desktop, laptop, whatever. So the cookie, of course, is not transferred in this example. So if we can actually match the email address from the conversion, so e-commerce purchase or form submit, or in my example, Acuity scheduling appointment booking, we always get the email. So we can send Google Ads the email and say, hey, this is the person who converted, figure this stuff out for us. And Google Ads usually does a pretty good job at that. So if John Smith is logged into Google, Gmail or Google Drive or wherever, or maybe they have a two-factor authentication stuff going on in their Google account, then Google Ads is able to match the conversion this way, even without cookies. So my understanding is that the enhanced conversions for Microsoft Ads or Bing Ads, whatever you want to call it, is pretty much exactly the same. So, I just figured this out for a client, so let's kind of show how it works. All right, so in Microsoft advertising, when you create your conversion goal, when you reach the conversion goal details, you, of course, choose the turn on enhanced conversions. Check here, enable enhanced conversion for this goal, save and next. All right, so here's actually the one of the things I'm not yet 100% sure about, because the difference between the Microsoft Ads enhanced conversion tracking versus Google Ads enhanced conversion tracking is that the enhanced conversion is a separate tag for Microsoft, whereas in Google Ads, it's the same tag. So let me show you. All right, so here's an example Google Ads conversion tag with the enhanced conversion tracking. Again, this is for Acuity scheduling, but it doesn't really matter which one you're using. All right, so here we have this option, include user provided data from your website, and then we have this user provided data variable in Google Tag Manager, where we can set up our, emails or phone numbers. Google Ads has phone, but it also has all this, address stuff. it seems that Microsoft only has email or phone number at this moment, but these are the more common ones that we pretty much always get. So I think it's probably good enough. So because the Google Ads enhanced conversion tracking is with the same tag as our specific Google Ads conversion, again, this is the Acuity booking, it's pretty clear that, hey, we are sending the enhanced conversion tracking for this specific conversion. Whereas for Microsoft, the enhanced conversion is a separate tag. So we have the main conversion, so this could be your Shopify purchase, your form submit, whatever, Acuity appointment booked for this example. And the enhanced conversions is a different tag. So I'm not 100% sure yet what is the correct tag sequencing here. So because this says add this script right after your base UET tag. But the problem is that in my understanding, we very often get this information from the conversion. So, if this would be in our head tag, I'm not sure if anyone does this like this. I would always use Google Tag Manager, but in this, documentation demo, we don't usually have this information, on every page after the UET tag in the head. So we only get this information in the conversion. So here, what I have done is I've just, set them up and they are triggered by the same triggers. So Acuity purchase. However, I'm kind of debating, and I'll need to look into whether we would actually need to do tag sequencing. So maybe we need to one thing that I'm considering is maybe we should fire a tag before the Acuity conversion. So we would choose the enhanced conversions here, save, and then for the enhanced conversions tag, we would remove the triggers because it would be, sequenced. So let's try this setup out. So I'm going to fill the Acuity booking widget. And let's take a look at the Google Tag Assistant. So for the purchase event, we get the we get the Acuity appointment booked, and we also get the enhanced conversions. However, this now was fired before this tag, so I think this approach would match kind of this documentation pretty closely. Yeah, I think we will just have to wait until some data comes in and then check if this is correct. All right, either way, so let's quickly go through how I've set this up. So for the base tag, so for the Microsoft Bing Ads base tag, there's actually like a wizard thing here which can handle it for us. It did a pretty good job, I think. But the idea is that we will look for Microsoft Advertising Universal, and we will add our UET tag ID here. I'm using a variable, a constant, because we have now at least 3 tags. So I don't want to keep copy pasting the same ID. If I change it, I want to be able to change it in one place. So the UETQ variable seems to be kind of like the data layer or the Google Ads cookie name or whatever. I'm just going to set this to default. But if you have more than one UET tracking code, then I think you need a unique one for each. So for our base tag, so this is kind of like the Google Analytics Google tag or the page view base tag or your Facebook pixel base. So this is kind of the base upon which we add specific conversions like a purchase or a form submit or an ebook download or whatever. So this is the config or page view, and I triggered mine on the initialization. The page view was what came out of the box. I prefer initialization because it usually triggers a little bit earlier. I don't see a problem with that, but I don't have like a strong opinion either way. All right, next up, I set the custom conversion. So this is the same tag. So unlike Google Ads where we have, well, maybe Google Ads isn't the best example because it doesn't really have a base tag. Well, okay, either way. Yeah, well, Google Analytics, for example, you have a different tag for the Google tag. The base tag is a different tag than Google Analytics for events. So this is the event tag, for example. So it is a different tag. For the Microsoft one, it's the same tag but with a different track type. So there's this drop down. I'm using custom conversion here, acuity appointment booked. So this should match what we have set up in our Microsoft ads. So when we reach setup tagging, I'm just going to use action equals to acuity appointment booked. I don't know if we need other parameters, but because this is like an optional thing and it's not here by default and it's not giving many errors, I don't think it's a problem. Of course, we could have like multiple different acuity calendars, and maybe we would like to have the California calendar and the Utah calendar be a different conversion or something like that. In this case, we're not doing anything like that. So this is now matching this. The action equals acuity appointment booked. So event action. And I'm just sending the currency code. We could send the price as well if we took payments via Acuity. Again, like I mentioned, in this kind of test, I'm firing the enhanced conversion setup using the tag sequencing. And these two triggers, these are just two different approaches that I'm using. Purchase for the ones that take payments, and the iframe if there are no payments. So depending on what my clients want. All right, so we can validate the setup using the UET tag helper. So I've set, installed this to my Google Chrome, and then here, when I make bookings, I'm able to see these events. So we turn this on, we refresh, we use the tag assistant to make test bookings or test purchases or whatever. And here we can see the page load event. Okay, this is actually, I'm actually going to test this way. So this was a little bit earlier. This was like 20 seconds earlier. We load the page and then we get the custom enhanced conversion. So this actually doesn't say that it's the enhanced conversion. I just know that it is because I tested, because we have three things here: 2 custom events and 1 page load. And because the last one is the acuity appointment booked, we know that the middle one is the enhanced conversion setup. And I actually verified it by going to my Google Tag Manager and looking for the enhanced Microsoft UET enhanced conversion tag, and then I paused this and disabled it, and then when I went to the UET tag helper, this Chrome extension, when the enhanced setup was paused, we only got these two. We only got the Acuity appointment booked, our main conversion tag, and the page load, our base tag, but we did not get this middle tag. So this is definitely our enhanced conversion tag. So I actually looked into this a little bit. So this looks like, total mess, total junk, but we can actually see this email, and I think this is like a space or something. And we can actually check this, I believe. So to make absolutely sure, because I didn't find like good documentation about this, and it's kind of annoying that this doesn't say that this is, it doesn't really say what it is, at least for a newbie. But this is the enhanced conversion thing, and we can actually understand it by this, email 3D something, and then we have this thing that starts with the B85 and it ends with the 3cc. So this is actually the email address that I used hashed. So I'm kind of going to explain that real quick. So when we get the email, the one that I used is just this, throwaway email from Apple Hide My Email. It's like a single-use email, which I don't really use, except for testing. We can see that the Acuity email is this email that I used. So if we hash this using the SHA-256, so we add our email here, we get this hash, again starting with B85 and ending with 3cc. And you remember B85 and ending with 3cc here. So pretty similar to the Google Ads enhanced conversions, this enhanced conversion tag is kind enough to do the hashing for us. So very quickly, what hashing is, it turns a thing into another thing, but we can't reverse this, except maybe OpenAI will be able to reverse it in the future, or some quantum computing stuff. But at the moment, it's possible to turn this into this, and it's always the same, Anytime we add this, it's always the same end result. But we cannot turn this back into this. So if we have a list of these hashed emails, then it's kind of private. We are not, letting Microsoft know if someone bought something like sensitive, something they wouldn't want anyone to know about, what they're buying or something. So it's kind of private, but it's still a way to do this enhanced conversion tracking to make the conversion tracking more accurate. So it's pretty cool how it works. But yeah, as I can see that this SHA-256 result for this email that I used matches this EM, which is obviously going to be email, then I'm absolutely sure that this is the enhanced conversion thing. And now actually, because this seems to be in the order of the oldest one in the bottom and the newest one on the top, which is a little bit different than for anything else. If we make another test booking, I'm actually going to use another email. Let's make another throwaway email and complete the appointment, because I want to check a few things. All right, so we got a couple of new ones. So first of all, I'm going to go in and check this one. So this is the 6 cab. All right, so these were a little bit earlier at 3:44. These are now 3:59. So now, okay, well, this is interesting. It's actually now in a different order. All right, so maybe because they were sent at the exact same time, maybe the tag sequencing thing doesn't really matter if it's like 0 point some milliseconds. So let's assume or hope that Microsoft is able to do the enhanced conversion tracking, even if the order of the tags is what it is. Yeah, they don't explicitly kind of clearly state what is the order here. So maybe they would mention it if it's like really important. But yeah, I think we'll have to wait and see. All right, I think I'm gonna end this video here. If you would send this via code, you are encouraged to hash the data, but I'm not sure if it matters. This is kind of weird that they say you can hash this data, but if we don't, Microsoft says they will hash it before they collect it. So I don't think it matters. So I'm actually not sure why they even are so vague about this. You can, but it's not necessary. I think they should just, do it themselves, because if they do the hashing themselves, they should take the responsibility for it and not kind of give us these two vague options. Either way, it is what it is. With the Google Tag Manager, I think they will do it for us. So it's all good. Right, I'm probably going to make a quick little blog post. Again, if this was helpful, yeah, let me know. Cool. And if you need help setting up your Microsoft Ads enhanced conversion tracking, then definitely get in touch. All right. Cheers.